say she get it from her mama. Mama say you fuck her right, body rude is humble like. Tell me in the humble, tell me is you down? Cause I'm trying to go good tonight.
Everyone, and welcome. Finally a lash tutorial. I haven't done one of these in so long, and we are going to do a birdie wispy set on her. Thank you so much to Veyes for sponsoring this video and supporting this channel. First things first, we're going to go ahead and use our Veyes gel pads. We're going to get straight into this video, and this set is going to come out so perfect. So we're just going to take these gel pads as a nice cushion. You guys know I love my Veyes gel pads. They're super soft, super moist, and they're hypoallergenic free. So really good for people who have sensitive eyes, who water, and they're very sticky. And when you take them off, they really do depuff the eyes. So absolutely love those. So we're gonna go ahead and take some of my Amazon white tape and close. No. There we go, and open. Look how healthy your lashes look right now. Go ahead and close, open, and close. I'm gonna brush through.
Sorry, I don't like the brushing.
Oh,
sorry. I'm like, yeah, it does. I don't know why.
But we're gonna go ahead now and do some mapping. I'm gonna have her open her eyes for me, and I want you to look dead straight center right here, okay? I always like to map out the most easiest points on my client's face because it's obviously wherever her iris lies and it stops and her pupil lies. You can never go wrong with getting the mapping just right when she comes in for her fill. So those are the 3 points I'm gonna start off with no matter what. Go ahead and open. Turn your head a little. Open. Center. Center. Outer. Outer. Okay. Go ahead and close. So those are her 3 dots that we're going to use for sure. And based off these, I can now go ahead and map in. Depending on how you kind of want your client's eye shape to go, you have to look exactly at their brow bone structure. For hers, it's really nice flat plane, but she does have a nice little arch. So it's not extremely heavy. Some people's arch come up higher, some people's come a little bit lower, and some people's are extremely straight. So I like hers because it's slightly a little bit elevated and it's got a nice arch. She's got so much brow bone space here. Go ahead and open. The way you can tell what's gonna look really good for your client is obviously look at their natural lashes. So if you go ahead and close your eyes for me, you can already see that her lashes go short. They kind of come up and then they stay stagnant from her center point to her outer corner. That normally can tell me that I'm either going to do a set where I can basically follow exactly what she has here. However, when the lashes are stagnant from her center point to her outer corner, that can cause drooping. So you do have to be careful with that. And that's something that if you see, you'll know automatically that you got to be careful when it comes to the mapping in that center point specifically. When it comes to outer corners too, you also have to look to see where do those lashes lie. Are they nice and straight and parallel facing towards the ears the way we need them to, or are they coming too outward towards the ears? So for hers, go ahead and close. They actually are perfect for me. They go exactly at the angle that they're growing out of, which is great. You had somebody whose their lashes are growing way too close to their ear. You cannot lash too far out, and a cat eye wouldn't be a right fit for this person. The reason being, if you go ahead and put those longer lengths in the outer corner, going to cause them to kind of touch the skin or too much drooping because the lashes cannot support the weight. They don't get a good bond because you have your lash tilting all the way over here and you're trying to get that lash to be centered out. So do you see how like I don't have a good tight base unless her lash were to be nice and straight? Now we have a better bond and a better base here. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this in half. So again, middle to outer is pretty centered, pretty straight. So I'm gonna cut this in half. And then I'm gonna follow where my outermost portion is. This is her center point and her inner corner. This is the part where you ask your clients and where you also have to understand for yourself. How long do you want your lashes? Do they want them long, medium, or short. Now, some people will come in and be like, oh, I want them long. And then I look at their lashes and they're short and they can't support the weight. So even though long would most likely, like medium-ish for her would be fine. But if she came in and told me, no, I want them kind of long, like I want 16, 17s, I would honestly say that she can actually have those because her lashes can support the weight. Now, if she was coming in and she had lashes that were, example, they were 12 millimeters and she's coming in and asked for 17, 18, obviously that's impossible. The lashes can't support the weight. They'll look good in the initial fill or the initial full set, but after that, the lashes cannot support the weight. So they'll end up falling off really fast and then you'll wonder why your retention's really bad. For now, I'm gonna say 15. So I told you guys earlier, from her center point to her outer corner is a flat plane. But for her in particular, I don't like to do that because if I put 14s here, we have a flat plane, it's gonna end up looking longer. So it's gonna throw off our set really, really bad. So what I'm gonna do is actually go 2 lengths lower to really give me that drop or lower down elevation that I need. I'm gonna do 13. And then we're gonna go down 12. And then 11 here. And then just a couple of 10s in that inner corner, maybe just 1. Don't be afraid to jump down 2 to 3 sizes. I feel like a lot of people are, and it does not throw out your set. If you know what you're doing and you really look at your client's lashes, really distinguish whether or not you should be doing like a nice basic mapping or it has to be very strategic. I can do a whole more in-depth video on that because I feel like there's just so much more to explain in it, but basically that's what we're doing. And again, don't be afraid to jump down 2 to 3 size points. Now for our base, I really, really, really want the spikes to stand out. So I'm gonna go down 3 sizes. So which means if I'm doing 10, you obviously want to go down to 7. So we're gonna do 7, 8, 9s, 10s, and then obviously since we're doing 15s, we jumped up. We're gonna do 12 here. You kind of have to be very particular when it comes to wispy sets. Not every single person can have this set. If somebody cannot support the length, then you cannot do a wispy set because you need to incorporate those lengths that are 3 to 4 sizes smaller, where it's not too short for my client either. Because if I were doing this for somebody who had more lid and brow bone space, this set would actually be super short and look really, really funny. All right, mapping is nice and done. We're gonna go ahead and get on started. So give me 1 second while I prep my tile and we'll come right back. We are going to get started now.
Everything you need and I like your smile. I don't want to see you cry. Got some questions that I gotta ask and I hope you can come up with the answers, baby. Girl, it's easy to love me now. Would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? Girl, it's easy to love me now. Would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? If I fell off tomorrow, would you still love me? If I didn't smell so good, would you still hug me? If I got locked up and set this till a quarter century, could I count on you to be there to support me mentally? If I went back till hoopty for my bands, would you poof and disappear like some of my friends? If I was hit and I was hurt, would you be by my side? If it was time to put in work, would you be down to ride? I doubt, kill a nigga, cat, chill and drive.
Alrighty guys, back on right now real quick. So I'm almost done. I did both eyes already. So as you can see, this one's nice and done. And then we moved on to this one right here. I am loving these lashes so much. The style that it gives and the way that they sit. So let me kind of show you. Let me zoom out a little. So you guys can see here, like, look at how cool it's already looking. These spikes definitely stand out so much better than actually making pre-made spikes, because that just takes so long. So the fact that they're here, and what I like is that they're chunky. So the base is chunky, so it gives it more, like, when we infill this in, it's just so easy. It's just gonna make your life so much easier. What I will say though is that some of them can bend very easy, so you need to be careful when you're picking them up, and probably telling your clients to be a little careful as far as, like, you know, having their face in the pillow or something, because as you guys can see here, this one in particular did bend a little bit at the tip, but that's probably because of the way I picked it up. But just be careful when you are, because they do bend a little easy. But I like the look is just insane. It looks so cool, so sleek. It's definitely gonna look it's gonna look so nice once we're done, and they apply really easy. The only thing I can say is that the base is very small. So just make sure that you're using the proper amount of glue when you're applying the lashes, so that way that they don't fall off really fast. But so far, loving them so much. They lay really nicely. I'm really curious to see how they'll last, but I feel like when I've used pre-made lashes like this in the past, as long as you use enough glue, they do last a very long time. Yeah, love it. Love it. They look so cool. Oh, yes. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and infill with pixie spikes. So what that means is that the spike is going to have a slight feather at the tip. So it's not completely closed like a spike, and it's not like a super narrow fan. It's very, very just, it's fluttery at the top. All right. Hey Google, stop. Alrighty guys, all done and set. I'm gonna go ahead now and set the lashes in place. So I'm gonna take my Nano Mister, and my Nano Mister has Veyes Super Bonder inside. You guys know I love this. This is definitely an OG lash hack of mine that I like to do. Not a lot of people do this. I prefer bonder inside my Nano Mister. I just feel like it cures the lashes better from outside within. I don't get shock curing, and I have an amazing retention. So I'm just gonna go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Go ahead and put that fan on for me. Put it towards your eyes. And then we're gonna fan them nice and dry. So I ended up having to put a C-curl in her outer corner because I felt like it was a little too curly. And I wish I would have known that sooner. I should have paid attention, but it's okay. This is where when you go in and you check your work, I even have my client open up their eyes so I can take a look and see. And if I feel like something is looking off or funky, fix it. Because there's one thing about it, I'd rather fix it right then and there and take extra time than have my client leave and her not be happy with it. So we ended up putting C-curl right about here. So a little bit off center to her outer corner. I feel like that made a huge difference. It was just too curly. It made her eyes look too kind of open at the ends, and I wanted them to look more sexier, more flattering, and more, what is the word? What is the word? More sultry. There we go. All right. So there we go. A nice little pool. I'm gonna lower this down. Go ahead and open.
Does he do it for you? When he's finished, does he step back and adore you?